Well, it's a beautiful Sunday, and I have stopped. I had gone to Aldi. Believe it or not, I was able to walk through the entire store. Well, the first two aisles by myself to get a couple of things that I needed. And that's saying a lot because I haven't been going into stores. And I even went in by myself because sometimes I have a friend go with me. And I asked her to help me just to make sure that if I fall or something like that. But that was really good. And I just wanted to make a real quick video because I've been thinking about this. I have put on a couple of videos about multiple sclerosis and the effects and so on and so forth. And I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. I'm not a clinician. I can't do anything about that. I can share things that I've learned. But to sit and talk about it like I am the know-it-all, that I have all the answers, I don't. I have secondary progressive multiple sclerosis. I bought a 1998 Jayco Ego trailer because I needed to simplify my life. And I've always wanted to go into a tiny home, but that's not exactly in the budget, even after selling my house. And so I did find this really, really nice 1998 Jayco trailer. And there's still work that needs to be done on the inside of it. But when I started this channel, it was my granddaughter who had me started. And she's like, oh, you got to do this. And so then at the time, I was going to try to remodel this shed in the backyard, make it into a one-bedroom, just a small house. Might have been called tiny, but it was going to be like 24 by 24. So not real tiny, but small. And I was going to be living in it and then rent out my house. Then not too long after that, there were just different situations that happened, and then come along 2020. And that just changed a whole lot of things for a whole lot of people, including me going from remissive, recurring multiple sclerosis, diagnosed originally in 2002, to having secondary progressive multiple sclerosis and having lots of physical challenges as a result of it. It's hard for me to walk. I'm very weak on the left side. It's unfortunately since then gotten weaker. But I figured if I go into this small home, then it's something that I can take care of. And also, one of the other benefits of it was to start to reduce my expenses so that I would be able to lessen my income or retire. And so those are the things that I wanted to be able to talk about when I started moving into the trailer and I started recording more videos. I wanted to share how, even though I have multiple sclerosis, even though I have this deficit, there's things that I can do and what I am doing. I'm not going to talk about, the medications or anything like that. That's a personal decision. I don't really know anything about them other than the research I've done for what my particular situation is, what my particular needs are, what fits my needs. And so that's something that each person has to do for themselves. One of the things I did want to talk about as far as this multiple sclerosis is that I had started getting weaker in about 2016. And it got to the point where when I would walk upstairs, it'd be great. I could go up fine. But going down, I started getting nervous about falling, especially when they didn't have rails. With rails, I was okay. But without rails, forget it. And so what I really should have done at that particular point in time is really sought out more medical attention. And so if you have multiple sclerosis and you're afraid to go to the doctor, go ahead and go. You can make decisions from there, but at least know what your options are, because there might be things that you can do to be able to delay any kind of additional progression in your multiple sclerosis. It's one of the things I did want to make sure to mention. Make sure to do your research too on the medications and make sure that it's something that's suitable for you. There's a doctor on here on YouTube. He is really good. I just found out that he's been doing these videos since 2005, and so there's a lot of videos I'm going to go back and research. There's a lot of things that I'm in agreement with him on. There's one thing that I disagree, and that is just something that I have to work with myself. And it is my body, so I know what's best for me, or I feel I know what's best. But gotta look at the options. I've got to go to a medical professional who knows about multiple sclerosis and who understands it and can help me figure out the right options for my particular individual situation. So that's part of what I wanted to be able to do with this channel. The other part is with the trailer, being a first-time camper owner, RV owner. There's been some things that I have been learning about. Things about, let's say, electricity and some uses and how you have to be cautious about how you use your electricity. And I have a 30 amp system, and there was a little bit of a fiasco that happened when I first moved into the trailer in November, and I'm going to be sharing about that. I also wanted to share about the black tank issue. I bought my trailer used, and which was great, and it's in great condition. There's a couple of little things I found that are wrong, but nothing that's outlandish. But one of the things is I had a big lesson to learn about the black tank. And then I also had a lesson to learn about having two gray tanks. There's one at the front under the kitchen, and then there's one toward the back under the bathroom. And when that got hooked up, and I'm going to share that with you real fast, when I got hooked up to plumbing, now I am stationary RV living. I'm not moving around, so I am connected to water and septic. And the plumber who hooked up the trailer didn't know that there was a second gray tank. And so I moved in there in November, but then in December we had extremely cold weather down into the teens and so on. And all of a sudden, underneath my trailer, that's before I had the skirting, underneath the trailer, there's icicles. I mean, big icicles underneath there, frozen. And then there were other issues that happened. Part of it is the toilet situation, which I'll tell you about another time. But the plumber didn't open up the valve for that gray tank, so it was overfilling. So as it turns out, all those icicles were as a result of that being too full, and so it was seeping out. And so that's one of the things. There's other little things that I've learned as it go along, and so I've shared a few things about the storage that I've been able to try to do for myself to use the small space. I also want to take a couple of videos to share like a day in the life of. Right now the trailer is still in a little bit of disarray because there's just things that need to be put away, and as a result of having the multiple sclerosis, there's boxes I can't lift, there's things that I can't do, and I need help to get things organized. But there's a lot of fun things that I want to share. And so with having secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, there's things I can do. I want to share about that. I want to share about things that I've learned, what I can do to help with my mobility issues, and some exercises, and of course there's just other things that a person with multiple sclerosis deals with physically. And so there's some positive things that I would like to share. And so I am out here, I'm enjoying this beautiful sunny day. I'm overlooking these baseball parks. There's children out there, they're practicing out there batting, and I'm like, boy, I remember when I was in softball and all those things. And so some of the things that are challenging with SPMS is, especially when you're new, when it's new and has become progressive, is working with the fact that there are things I can no longer do. And this doctor was mentioned earlier, he says, it takes, 2 years to get used to the idea. And it's like, well, no. So it was in 2020, it was October 2020, that it was officially diagnosed with SPMS. It's not an easy thing to deal with. And so there's no time frame, but there's a lot that can be done. So don't be afraid if you've got multiple sclerosis. But just look at what you can do. And I want to talk about the things that I can do. And so I'm going to be sharing a video soon about where it is now. It's going to be, that 6-month mark. I want to be able to say, okay, 6 months with multiple sclerosis. This is what I've been able to do. This is what's done. This is what I'm going to do. There's some great things that have been done, and there's things more to come. And so I want to share what I'm going to be doing on that level. But I just wanted to real quickly apologize for anybody who saw my videos talking about an MS, progressive MS. I'm not a doctor or clinician. I can share some of the knowledge that I have learned, but to sit there and try to talk like an expert, that was really not one of the wisest things that I've done. So I removed those videos, and so I've got more things to do, and I'm more excited about being able to talk with people about how I've done these good things with the storage, like up in the cabinet. I've been able to do a couple of things. There's other things that I've learned. In being new in an RV, especially with having a handicap, there's things that I've learned that I can share, and I want to help somebody else. Anyway, so I just thought I'd just do this real quick video. It was kind of funny that I'm doing this selfie video because I'm not normally very comfortable with that, but I did want to say hello to everybody, and I hope you like my channel. I hope you will, give me a thumbs up on the videos that you like, and I hope you will subscribe. And I hope you all have a very wonderful day today, and I'll see you in a little while on the next one.